Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com. Today I want to talk to you about the law of attraction versus the law of assumption versus the law of belief. And any other law people may come up with that is basically the same thing. There's this debate today like, oh, it's not the law of attraction, it's the law of assumption. That's going to get you the results you want in life. And other people are like, oh, it's the law of belief. And they try to diminish one or the other. Basically, they are different phrases for the same underlying idea, which is of believing the end result is experienced now. When you do that, you focus on that, and you stay in that place of mind, that vibrational state, you will get whatever you believe for. Essentially, all of these, while they have little quirks and differences in wording and phrasing, they're basically saying what Jesus taught in Mark chapter 11, verse 22 to 24, which says, "Have faith in God. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." You could take all the phrases and all the different wordings and explanations. That basically summarizes how we exist in this reality. If you believe that whatever you say is going to come to pass, and you believe when you've spoken those things forth, having your faith in God, you believed as you received them before you received them in the physical reality, ye shall have them. All this argument over, well, it's a law of assumption, you got to assume the feeling of, or law of belief, you have to get it in your subconscious mind that you believe, because the law of assumption is just really a conscious mind activity. All these things basically are arguing in circles around each other. And you can have a preference for whichever one you want to call. It doesn't matter. God didn't give us a certain wording, law of attraction, for this spiritual truth that we understand. So call it whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Call it birds of a feather flock together if you want. It doesn't matter. The point of it is that you believe, you vibrate, you focus, you have a mindset, a point of belief, and assuming that you have received whatsoever you desire. When you pray, when you speak forth those words, you'll have whatsoever you say. It really is that simple. Yes, there are little things here and there that might be tweaks and variations, but that's basically the end result. You have to be in a position that you believe feelingly, just like someone who believes. Think of this verse of scripture. If you believe something, you don't doubt it in your heart, but you believe those things will come to pass, what would you do? You would feel a certain way. If you wanted something, obviously there's a feeling you're trying to achieve from that, so you would feel a certain way if you had that belief in place. If you truly believed, then you would assume a certain thing. If you truly had the law of belief, you would believe a certain thing. These are all work together, and you would then attract that certain thing. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So you're sowing, you're believing, you're focusing on, you're vibrating, but however you want to word it, however you want to phrase it, doesn't matter. Whatever your personal preference for that is fine. Understand though, you must believe that you've received and you'll have whatsoever you say. It literally is that simple. There are a lot of other principles that go along with it to make it work better for you. You know, one of the problems that people have sometimes when they're talking about the law of assumption is it never deals with the subconscious mind. That's why one of the biggest propagators of the law of assumption is someone who is unfortunately constantly battling and going back to rehab over drug issues. Well, because that individual has never dealt with the underlying issue in the subconscious mind. So unfortunately, they may have to go through that many, many more times. because you have to deal with that underlying thing. That's why there are other principles that are involved that help make these things work better for you. Depends on where you're coming from. Everybody's got a different position, a different issue they may or may not be dealing with. So it's not a universal blanket approach for everybody, although there are universal principles that you can apply that will help everyone, but you may just have to tune into a certain area. If you're dealing with drugs, for example, there's certain things you got to deal with, unworthiness issues, abuse, whatever it may be, things that you need to focus and realize the love of God in your life. But see, that's something that, while it'd be very beneficial for someone in that regard, that really would help anyone. Universally, that applies to everybody. They would do better if they know the love of God in their lives. They know that they're valued, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Not just so you can go join some church or something or call yourself a Christian, but so that you truly know the love of God. Knowing him, that we love him because he first loved us. Knowing that God is love. Because see, when your approach to life is that God is love, you approach life very differently. You can more readily understand the truth of having whatsoever you say because you believed in your heart and you didn't doubt. So whatever issue you may be going through, you do need to deal with that. I'm not talking about going back and rehashing the past and whining and complaining about the past. Just realize there are certain things that you may as an individual have to deal with that other people don't. And you can say it's unfair, and that's fine, whatever. That doesn't change the fact that you need to deal with those issues. So if you have underlying unworthiness issues that drive you to drink or to drugs or whatever it may be, to promiscuity, whatever it may be, if you deal with that, it's going to help you get the desired result that you want in life. If you have underlying issues, I'll use myself as an example where I grew up poor. So I had, even into adulthood, even into successful businesses, this underlying mentality that I was poor. Even when I had more money coming in than most people make in their lifetimes, I still felt poor. I still felt like I wasn't going to have anything. I was going to be back to nothing. And that's, of course, where things ended up, because I couldn't undo that true heartfelt belief of unworthiness, of being poor, of that being my lot in life, basically. So whatever it may be, it may be with obesity, that you believe that, I'm just big boned, I'm just fat, or however you word it, however you phrase it, I just can't control, if I eat a salad, I gain weight. Well, if you keep telling yourself that and you have that underlying belief, it's going to be very difficult for you to get to the healthy weight that you want to be at. And this isn't to tell you what weight to be. It's just, I've never known anyone who was morbidly obese who, if given the chance, you could just snap your finger and go to a healthy weight or stay where you are, wouldn't snap their fingers. So there's an underlying understanding that they want to be in a different position, but not the means to get there, not the knowledge of how to get there. They may know technically, obviously, exercise and count your calories and just take in less calories a day than you burn, and eventually the weight comes off. But that's harder to put into practice when you have underlying subconscious issues telling you you're not worthy, telling you you're not good enough, telling you you can't, or telling you it's just fate, your DNA is against you, and so you're just genetically programmed to be obese. That's one of the reasons why I made my book 200 Rapid Weight Loss Affirmations, and it's in an audiobook as well, because I wanted people to be able to affirm, reprogram their subconscious mind. And a lot of those affirmations don't have anything to do directly with weight. They have to do with self-belief, your self-image, how you believe and love yourself, understanding God's love for you, understanding God's approval of you. Because when you can frame your life around that and understand that, the rest of it goes hand in hand. You'll get the weight loss you want. You'll get the money you want. You'll get the success in life you want. You'll get the love, or whatever it may be that is a desire of your heart. You'll be able to truly believe in your heart and not doubt that subconscious programming, which is the doubt, not doubt in your heart, because you've overridden that with these good affirmations and these good beliefs of God's goodness and the blessings and abundance and love for you. And then you'll have whatsoever you say. So whether you want to talk about law of attraction, law of assumption, law of belief, or whatever they may come up with next, whatever phrase people use to sell more materials and information, rehashing the same principles, if you just get this, renew your mind, affirm the things you want, believe for them, act in a place of position of assuming that end result, believing for the end result, seeing it as your experience right here and now, you, my friend, will have whatsoever you say. I pray this was a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.